Welcome to this new time. My name is Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne, Australia, and it's still only 5 in the morning for me, and it's a Tuesday. Yesterday became a little bit too busy first thing in the morning. Welcome, Darren and Anne and Tom. So let's just share this to start with. So just a welcome to this live analysis session. There is a full risk disclosure there and a little bit about us as live session traders. Okay. So Darren, you're here. We might be able to follow up on your discussion. Oh, sorry, of your assessment. Let's go across over onto the charts. Yep. ADCAD. So Darren, you made a bold statement about the fact that at the start of the year with these new settings, or what, on a daily, is it? On the day?
Yeah, that's right. So by waiting for the color change, most of those trades I would have been much later into the move.
Right.
Potentially wouldn't have got in them because I'd have been too late. Not the case not in everyone, but certainly
in the ones that you took.
Yeah.
Give us an example where we.
Let's have a look.
You mean from a color change at the midline there?
That's for a good example. Let me think. What did we do? I mean, USD CAD is one which I'm, as it happens, I'm still in, but I think
that was start of the year just there.
Yeah.
Or the end and start.
Although it did pull back much later, but if you look, by the time I got in on that long on the 4th of January, by the time we had the colour change, it was at the
way up there.
Line. But maybe could have got in on a pullback after that, possibly. But what else do we have?
The second long, you mean, just over here?
Yeah.
Still, it's up there about the same sort of position, really.
Yeah.
But it may be different though, too, also, Darren, between, like, you've got it. So there's a couple of things in here, I suppose. You still have a green triangle. You're still well out of the X48, and you do have a long.
Yeah.
You got in around about there, did you?
I did, yes.
No. Yeah, okay. Well, even when you got the long, it's sort of like back up in there. And that's not it's like you're going to get there. I mean, that's 270, but it's taken you 97 days to get there.
It's been a real slow mover, that one, I appreciate.
Yeah, no. And it doesn't matter about that. That's not necessarily the point that you're making, I suppose. It's like, well, it's that move and staying in it until it sort of makes its move the other way.
Yeah.
It's probably, as you said, it's probably not a great example of having a shorter term, quicker move type trade, but it's still moved in the right direction. It's just It's just taking its time to do it.
Yeah, but I see what he's saying because that happened. I noticed it the other day when I was watching this. And on one of these moves, I can't remember which one it is now, but let's say it's down here where it shows that long.
Yeah, just down here.
Yeah, and it pushed 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 and it pushed. And it came out the other side
of the X48.
Of the X48 to where I was going to get a short. And that line had just turned green.
Right.
That color changes as the line bends the other direction, isn't it? It's literally the change in direction of the line. So as the middle line turns to head down, it changes
like
red.
Here.
Yeah. And then
but
it turns up, it changes green.
I've noticed, obviously, I haven't been looking much, but I haven't been looking for long, but I've noticed that it's fine on the 2 hour, but then the 4 hour, it's a bit, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So if you're looking at the 1 day, Darren, it's bound to be the last to change, isn't it? On the.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
So maybe it's just not, for if you're on the daily, maybe it's helpful if it's changed, but not essential.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you look back here, though, Darren, I mean, you're from one side of the X48 to the other, but you don't have. Well, let me just get rid of that for a minute. But you don't have a triangle there, but you do have a change in color there. But then it comes down and breaks that low. Then you get triangles. Then you get a long. Then it takes off.
Yeah. I think maybe it's an extra confirmation, but not necessarily wait for it. But if you do have it, then it's confirmation of a better trade, perhaps.
It's where you can sit back and relax just a little bit more, Darren, you think?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting here, though. I mean, you look at this point, there is see, this is for that, it's a lot later, but for here, this color change in the middle occurred before it started.
Looking at that is
this was back in October last year.
No, that's true.
And that's a red here, and it's like you got that short couple of triangles, and then off it went. Like that.
Yeah.
That was it did come back to break even, and then drop down 600 pips, like in 56 days. So it's less days than what you've been in here, and it's just been going sideways.
Yeah.
So it all depends, doesn't it, on what you catch and what it's doing. I mean, this here and the long, it's already in the green. Do you know what I mean? But the long is whereas the long has moved way up here. You haven't got the long. You've got triangles, and it's out the outside.
Yeah,
like it's how I'm just trying to because that's quite a nice move. It didn't come out the other side. It come back here and then move back up. So from here to there and then back up here. That's 98 days. It's sort of what you've been in now, roughly, but that's 700, where you've only got 200 and something as a move, 270. Not only, sorry, I apologize. It just depends on your stop loss then. Because I think here you were doing quite large stop losses still, weren't you? It was back at the triangles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here it had turned green before you even got along.
Yes, it does.
Here it had turned red before you got the short. So, but here it turns green well after you get the long.
Yeah, I think we've got to sort of test it live, really, because I think also it's still sort of moving. Those lines are still moving to an extent,
Yeah.
So I think it could change colour and sort of repaint going back a few candles as well. I think you just need to do it live, I think, and then.
Do you think, like, let's use the example up here. Are you thinking, Darren, that this turns red, but then when it comes back down, it turns green? When it goes back
I'm
up,
thinking
and
that
then
I'm thinking that possibly that short at the top, when that short occurred, I think possibly that middle line would still have been green, and as prices push down, the line
it goes red earlier. Yeah,
it's pull the lines down, and
yeah,
that's what I suspect. Yeah,
it's interesting though. But over here, the lines are, yeah, maybe
when it's still in the dotted line sections.
See, that's red to green to sort of red dots in there.
Yeah,
I think it's red dots. Yeah, it is red to green to red.
I think
you may be right.
I think the dotted line sections are still sort of flexible. It's not until the line becomes solid, sort of fixed, if you like. That's something I sort of thought as I've been watching this. So
yeah, sorry.
Go on. Yes, that's all right. Yeah.
So what you're still working on, Darren, for your daily longer term, you're getting a tighter stop loss necessarily. You know, let's just use this as an example. It's not a great one because it's not like, you know, taken off the other side in a relatively short time.
Yeah.
But when this X40A, when you see it outside the X40A and you get a long, that's when you're going to get in, is it? Or when it comes back to the X48, really?
When I get the long, I'm still using the trend bar.
Yeah.
Thing. So as long as the trend bar's green as well,
there.
Have a long.
Yeah. See, it's green.
It's been outside the channel. The more outside the channel, the better. The more triangles, the better. Yeah, and then I mean, but I will watch this. That color change for the center line from now on for sure.
But
yeah, on that USD CAD, on that particular one, I'd have been at the center. I'd have been at the center line by the time it changed color.
Yeah, up here somewhere.
Yeah, on that particular one, yeah.
And maybe as Anne said, like on a higher time frame, that's not as crucial for the taking of a trade.
Yeah.
What's more crucial is how far out the X48 and whether you get the long. Well, you see, the thing is that if you look just down here, you've got a color change on this cloud just before you get the long. And you've got this trend bar change before you get the long as well.
And I could probably play around with the settings, and that center line will probably.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, that'll probably change colour sooner. But you can. I think with these things, you can change the settings to
make it.
Yeah, retrospectively to sort of make it say what you wanted it to say.
Okay. Oh, well, that's an example of ones that you still need to play with that. I'll just take that trend bar off just for the minute. But it's certainly, I mean, the basic parameters are still there. It's well outside the X48. You do have a triangle and you got along. It's like the formula is there. It's just like, well, when do you get into that?
Just finding if you can find something to, just improve your win rate, I suppose, and that's what it is, isn't it? But where we get these examples where pushes outside. You get the signal to get in, you get the long, you're in, and then it turns and
Yeah, well, I mean, up here you look at this, you get a triangle, and you're out well out of the X48. You get a number of triangles, and you get a short. I mean, there's a color change there. Do you, this is the sort of the idea of it. I think Tom had touted before, had mentioned before that potentially you get in at the X48. I'm not saying, Tom, that's what you're doing now or whatever, but potentially if you were to get in the trade with a like a sell stop or something there, it did come back though, back up here, you would have been in drawdown. But if let's use the example, where have we got? Say if you want to get into a short and you get in right at that, I'll just put it across here, you get right when it comes back past the X48 and your stop loss is, at the high of that, you got 90 there, and then it's going to come back in where how much? That's 45 pips back into drawdown. But then again, there's as it comes out of the X48 down here, you'd get out and that again is, say you got in there, you're going to be in that for 49 days, but you got 500 pips nearly with a 5% on 95 stop loss. I'm just using that one as an example, that's all. But here it's like, well, yes, we took the trade, or you took the trade, and it's mulled around. Yeah. It has still gone in that direction.
Yeah.
Which is opposite to what it's done, and just stopped there and pulled back, and then has really not gone anywhere. Anyway, that's the daily. We come back onto a 4-hour. There's been lots of longs and shorts, but come on. And you can see where the X48 here has given you heaps of, it's come outside there and given you heaps of triangles to get back in. Anyway, that's just one example. Now, and you're staying in this at the moment because it hasn't sort of given you any real sign of needing to sell. Well, on the daily, it's not out the other side of the rails. Okay. I'm just looking at these, Tom, and others. This is this is, remember I said, look, watch all the AUDs. It's like, oh gosh. It pushed out, then it pushed up and up and up again. The last couple of, the end of the week and now. So I'm sort of just waiting for, there was a short in here. This is on AUD CAD on this 2-hour time frame. Then it pushed up and broke the high, right, and got along on it. I don't know what, there would have been obviously some news there. But now after the market opened, and it's just pushed up higher again, but we've got a whole series of red triangles. But Tuesday London Open is coming soon. So what's happening? Just consumer confidence. What's the other ones hidden behind there? That's just business confidence. And then Canada. Oh, interest rate decision. How's that? That's on Tuesday as well. I know it's not. No, it's on the 10th. Sorry. I was looking at that down there. So it might be just after the Tuesday. But they could be setting up for a move on the Tuesday too, though. And we're not necessarily looking for buys on this. Well, look at the currency strength, though. Aussie dollars way up there. And we have to, I think it has to be some news before it'll start to drop off. So if you look AUD CAD, see, I use the AUD USD, I've said this before, as more of an indicator of AUDs, what they're potentially up to. And again, we got a triangle there, went short, pull back to the middle, and then it just jumped back up again. We've got another triangle. So, I mean, is this okay, I'll try and rephrase. So have we gone from one side of the X48, this is on the 2-hour, one side of the X48 to the other side of the X48, back to the middle, jump back up again, not broken the high, and then potentially go back out the other side of the X48. So what are some of the indicators telling you, Tom? I still got a green center line on the 4-hour. I've got a triangle on the 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say you still got, if you're following the midline, then you still got green on the 2-hour. So
yeah, absolutely. But that may take, that may take a while to change. I mean, you've got.
Oh yeah.
If you look on the chart,
Darren, that's what we were saying about the one day. It's, it takes time to.
Yeah. And you can see here, it's like, you get a triangle and a short, and, that was a sell out. It was quite substantial as a number of pips. Then basically it's just bounced around the middle and then shot back up in the last, when market opened. I think that was market open. Yeah. Basically market open and just push back up again.
I mean, all indicators virtually are lagging indicators, aren't they? So
absolutely,
you can't rely on them, but it's finding a combination that just sort of maximizes your chances. Really, I think that's sort of what we've got here, and we're just seeing if we've got one extra here to sort of improve the accuracy that bit further. But
yeah, what I'm tending to see is also too, when we have the shorts and longs, this sort of band or color part of the X48 tends to change before we get a short and a long. It's like as if they're tied in, but they're just that this color change of this comes earlier than what the short or long is. If you look at it,
I've been caught out. I have to say a few times with these JPY pairs.
Oh yeah,
sells, and then they've turned and pushed up yet again, and so that they do have a habit of just keep, they just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed well outside the channel, or got everything's there to suggest it's heading down. You get the short, and it turns, it pushes back up. The triangles disappear. It repaints.
Yeah.
Waits again. it's been horrendous for the JPYs.
Yeah, just on the JPYs primarily.
I think particularly that's been standout as probably the worst pairs at the moment on the daily.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go. Same thing. If you look at AUD CAD, you know, this is just on the 2 hour. You'll see there's a number of triangles up in here to say, look, you know, this is going to sell. It's going to sell. It's going to sell. It's going to sell, and it keeps buying. I'm just trying to work out why, because you're outside the X48, you got triangles, it's green. I know that would potentially keep you out of the trade, but again, when it changes, it could be ages until you're really into the trade. You want to try and get the swing high or swing lows to minimize the amount of stop loss to get the maximum sort of percentage profits. But if you look here, like it's well out, it changes red, it's got a short. This, I suppose, on most, I mean, what we've talked about before, this would be like, okay, a good example of potentially getting into the sell on it because it's got, you know, tick, tick, tick sort of thing. Then it just pushes back up. Now, the thing is,
that looks a good setup. That's essentially
it does, doesn't it? But the point is, you're not going to win every trade. So yes, you're going to get those things where it comes up and breaks the high or low on it in the trade that you're taking. And,
yeah, but I fixed that.
Okay, but he's fixed it. Okay. And Tom?
Want to know how I fixed it?
Well, I have to say yes at this point.
Actually, it was you that convinced me.
Okay. What did I do?
Okay. Well, you said, you see how those things always shoot up further than those ribbons shoot up further than the candles. And by the time you get the candles, it's too late.
Yep.
Because of the ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in and I removed those ribbons.
Okay. Yeah.
So to give me a more accurate detail of what's actually happening. So if you go into your X48, let's see.
These plots in it.
No, it's the go down a bit further. I'll know it when I see it. No, I won't know it when I see it. Hang on, I'll have to look on mine. Unless Tom happens to just know.
I'm looking for it too.
Yeah. It's the stochastic. There you go.
It is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, where is it? Down here, isn't it? No, it's mode.
Stochastic RSI background paint.
Yeah, RSI. That's what I said before.
Yeah.
Here, that one. Right. No, still. Oh, wait a minute. Still thinking. Yep, gone.
Okay, can you blow this up a little bit on the 2 hour?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we really don't know when it's going to turn, right? Because we're counting on those ribbons to tell us, but those ribbons were inaccurate in its timing.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I went out and I found a secondary indicator. And it's called STD-filtered, North Pole Gaussian filter by Luxalgo.
Okay, let's find that indicator. He's starting to add them back on again, Darren. What's it called?
STD.
Wow.
-filtered.
Yeah.
Right there at the top. Right there at the top. Look at that.
That's an unfortunate name for a
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I
going to
was
say.
just, yeah, I was actually. I was about to say, are you sure it's an STDOS?
I didn't make it up. Okay, so go back in and go to your input. And change that from 25 to 8 and 1. And then keep going down. Color bar and show signals, yes. Style is bar color and North Pole. Go to your style.
Oh, sorry.
Was that 25, 8, and 1, did you say?
No, it's 8 and
Eight.
1.
8 and 1.
Oh,
And then it's just 1 and 10.
period 8. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Period 8, order 1. Ah, it's
And
a
then style.
Hikanashi. Okay.
And, go to style and then remove the long and short.
Oh,
And the
you don't
label.
need them. Yeah.
And then save it
And
as
the
default.
values.
And I'll show you what I did.
You don't need the values either.
No. Oh, and convinced me to get rid of the table on the right-hand side too of the.
Oh, the
Okay,
X48.
so what this does is it tells you when it's outside the X48. If you could blow up that area down there at the long.
Right down here.
Sure, down that area.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Yep.
If you'll notice that the candles now, when it changes from red to green and you get the long, is when you get in. Do you see the X48 to the right, where you got your two arrows?
Yep, there.
Okay, you see where the line changed before you got the long?
Yeah.
That's your entry. The structure has gone from red across to green to red to green to red. Now it's outside. Now it's green. That's your entry.
Looks like a super trend.
Kind of, yes. So regardless of what the line is in the middle, like Darren said, because I noticed that the other day, this said long and the line was red, and it took off like a bat out of hell and charged up a few hundred pips. And by the time it got to the top, it had changed green. I said, okay, well, now I know that it's so far lagging that I'll always be behind. But what doesn't lie is the X48 telling me there's a green arrow, there's a long, and now the color changes have happened on the candles for the up move. So now you can go back to any one of those. Go back up to the top to the shorts on the left. On the left.
Oh, sorry. Over here.
Okay, so see up here where it says short, and you got the change. It says arrow short, and then look where the red candle changed, the red line.
Hang on, I've got it. Oh, you mean that one or that one?
Either.
Hang on a minute. We'll just well, we'll do both of them.
Sure.
Okay. So it's outside the X48 there, but we've still got a green in here.
Exactly. It didn't
We
change.
got, what's this red line? We got X48 and a red, and then it changed there at the short. But then it spiked back up again.
Right, but your entry should be at the high anyway.
Yeah, be up there. You mean not the entry, the stop loss.
Correct. So if you're going to take that trade, you would want your entry down there at the
But
red
then
candle
it
where
turns,
changed
but
the red line.
then it does turn green there, and then go green, red, then red again.
Yeah, but if you look as it, see, that's what I'm saying. So the short on the left,
Mm-hmm.
the red line changed. So there's your entry.
Mm-hmm.
Your stop is at the top.
Yeah.
And as it works across, the line turns red
Yeah.
on the middle line,
Yeah. There.
and then you get another short.
Over here.
And that's the one you want. But if you get those shorts over here to the left, you're fine. So what I've started doing is I've started taking these triangles that are outside the rail,
And
rather that
here it's pushed outside. We get a couple of red triangles. We get a short, and it changes red.
and
But
that's your entry.
that's probably, yeah, no. Well, it changed on that candle.
Mm-hmm. So what I've started doing is taking those X48 trades just the way they are, and as long as that red line changes, I get in, whether that middle line is red or not.
Yeah.
So like on the longs where it says long and it turns green, I'll get in. I got a triangle, long, change colors, candles, and I get in because it's far more accurate. So where that ribbon showed you, it says short with the arrows at the top there. That ribbon showed you, oh, it's turning back down. It's really not though. It's a fake out.
Yeah. Yes, because that's staying green. It means it's not necessarily going down. It's
That's
just
right.
a push before it goes up. So this green here is saying, even though you're outside the X48 and you've got all these red triangles, it's not ready to sell yet.
Right. That line has to turn red.
Yeah. Okay.
If you got a short and then it turns red, sort of 4 or 5 candles later, what do you do in that circumstance?
It normally changes beforehand, Darren.
I'm just looking at these JPYs again, which.
Oh, right. Okay. Let's go to AJ.
A couple of times.
We'll go to AJ and have a look then.
Yeah. See, everything's still green.
No, but it went. You had a short. Well, hang on. Wait till the X48 kicks in.
I think.
See, it's well out. You've got a triangle there. You've got a change in a short. That's a trade there.
Yeah, I would have taken that.
I was just going to say, maybe you just go with the idea if it changes on you like that, you go, I'll get out.
GBP JPYs.
Okay, let's go. Look at that one.
Caught me a couple of times. I mean, I'm looking on the daily.
I know. I looked at getting into that. Did I? I don't think I got into it. I did put it on our chat because I saw it.
If you just have a look at it on the daily, I'll just show you what I've been looking at.
Yeah, I'll go to the daily in a minute. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. No, that's all right. There's a 2 hour. We've got that, but it's still green. We've got this and a short, but the short is like you could be down at the middle before you get in. But in actual fact, it changed the candle before.
Even if you didn't get the short, you saw the red line was changing, you get in.
As long as that changes on that candle.
It's got to be outside the X48.
Yeah. It's got to be outside the X48. Yeah. Yeah, well, down here is not a good example because it's not outside the X48 and you have a change in a long. So you don't have any triangles. It's not something that you could count on necessarily. Okay.
Yeah, you can. It's giving you the long. It's giving you the green candle line, right? And the middle line's green.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But we don't have a green triangle though. Just one or the other. It's not external to the X48. It could come up here like that and then just push down further though, Tom. That's the thing. You could get a bit of green and then
put on, that's the thing.
Yeah, I know. I do understand. Okay, let's go to the daily on this one. There you go, Darren.
Yeah, this has been giving me a bit of trouble, this, because well, we've had that last red triangle which you've got there in the short, and
then it sort of just bounced and come back up again. And,
yeah, but if you look at the previous two shorts prior to that, that did push. That was outside the X48 initially, and that's been repainted.
Where? Here?
Well, actually, you've not got to know. Your settings must be different. So I've got a short at the top of those two previous peaks.
Those two.
Yeah.
Right.
It sort of turned on me twice. Now that was outside the X48 when we got the short, although, but then it turns, pushes up, and the channel lines on the X48 push up, and the triangle disappears. So repaint.
Yeah.
You know, it might be there just is no solution to that. It's just sort of tough luck, but but that's
trading tough luck. Yeah.
Yeah. But that colour change now, that line is very close to the trend bar, actually. Not exactly.
I was gonna say it's a similar sort of a thing. So if we go X48 and we take off that
too high. Right there.
No, it's this one.
Yep.
Gets rid of the cloud. If we put that trend bar on, I mean, I'm not saying, I think that's just standard settings on that trend bar. Or as Anne, you were saying, you could use the super trend, or so you do have.
Yeah, there's a lot of these indicators are very similar at the end of the day, aren't they? So,
yeah. Well, they're all trying to achieve a similar thing.
Yeah.
So you got that, you got the short, and then you've got the sellout there. But here we've got a triangle and a short on this one.
I mean, that was a good sell. I took that one, but since then I've had
the one here.
Yeah, and I took the buy as well from the bottom.
Wow.
And then
but it poked out, so the rails actually were lower. It poked out, so you got out of it.
Got out, and it's been giving me trouble ever since, trying to get the sell here.
Yeah, you're trying to get the push down. The only thing is that I look at this and say, well, you know, the British pound's way up the the top of the Japanese yen down the bottom. So unless
I do think sentiment plays a huge role in it. You know, as you say, it's like you wouldn't be looking, would you, for the pound to sell against the yen at the moment? You just wouldn't.
Not just the moment. No. I mean, it will have sells, because you've got sell. You've got a sell, a sell, a sell. You know,
yeah, but not significant in terms of what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just pullbacks, those. They're not sells, are they?
Correct. They're not longer term sells that you really want to get into the trade.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, they're opportunities to get into the long.
Correct. Yeah, you're right, Anne. They are. I'm trying to work out, Darren, how maybe you could have, well, the indicators told you, but I mean, they've changed. As you said, the rails have moved up, and they did have shorts, and it would have went outside the rail, and you got out of it. But then it's changed. So,
I mean, in hindsight, I could have still been in it, moving the stop loss up, and
that's all I'm saying at this point. And that's where that middle rail is still green, though, Darren. You see?
Well, yeah.
But the point is, we know that that's lagging, and so it'll take time to change. So it could have, you could be in that, because it's green, you could be in for the buy, and then it also turn, and then later on it turns red. So you don't particularly know. If we go back to our one here, I mean, this does at a lower time frame. I think this does help that chart. Because you can see the trend is bullish all the way. Like, why would you take a sell out of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And why, up here, GBP is higher than JPY. Why would you take a sell there on a GJ? I mean, yes, it did sell, but let's now go here. I don't know if I've got trend. Yeah, I've got trend
just
bars
had a quick look. I think I've said before I use one of Kevin Orm's Mom's Cloud, and looking at that GBP JPY, Darren, it's just there's not shown any sign at all since beginning of January of it selling. So when did it change? 9th of January.
See, look at this. I mean, here, Tom, this is trend bar on here, right? Green to red, green, all this sort of stuff. And this, the one that we've just, if you look at it, it's not a lot different. It changes right at the same time.
Yep.
And you get, well, this is, interesting. Okay. It's not a lot different to the trend bar with the settings that you've got, Tom.
Right.
And I'm not using that as a discount of it. I'm just saying that. So for longer term trades between that sort of daily event coming back to the 2 hourly, I mean, they're different trades, obviously higher time frame and lower, but it's like to try and grab this is a bit like on the 2 hours, a bit more sort of the scalping version of the daily, because you're trying to get those other bits in relation to the trend. If we go not there, go back to the 4 hour over there. Even so the 4 hours still got British pound up there and the Japanese down. I mean, from a sentiment point of view, and we still have Alistair's prediction up here anyway. Where the X48 is at the moment. Hang on.
Yeah, but you get a much better read without those ribbons.
Yeah. Yeah. See, at the moment, like, is this even look at the AUD, even up here on a 4 hour, it's still well up the top. It's crazy. So, you've got a swing high here. It pulls back down, but not out to the other side of the X48. It's just traveling in between. So again, the strategy that we're really sort of highlighting as a more relaxed, it needs to be outside the X48, either on one side or the other. This stuff in the middle is just, it has, with this strategy, has really no ability to predict. So that's the GJ. Darren, it's yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you want to avoid till so we're going to
See, you got that, but nothing out the other side. I mean, that would have been a relatively good from here. If you get that red change and you get into that trade, I mean, that's 120 pips. And if you can get a relatively tight stop loss up above that previous high, I mean, that's a good trade. But it could have, here with this triangle, but it's still green on that, it pushes up higher. If I go back to the AUD CAD, for example, I mean, look at this. I mean, that stayed green, so you wouldn't have got into any sell on that, even though you've got that short. And I'll just wait for the X48 because you're out all the way along here. It's just bouncing across the top.
Mm.
Yeah, there is no change. And as you said, Anne, the sentiment of the strength of the currency is really quite important in maybe a decision-making process here. Okay. Same thing, AUD CHF. It pushed down, but then just basically has come straight back up again. Now, it could be a situation where it doesn't break the high and then just pushes back down again, like we've got another triangle here. But here it didn't give us a triangle on the bottom end because we didn't have any, we had a finish of that sell, but we didn't have a buy-in outside the range. So, and we've still got this green bit here. So this is not saying to sell as yet. ADJPY. If I look at it too, same thing. Not saying to sell here at all. Wait for the X48. All right, it's outside. We don't have any triangles as yet because we don't have a sell candle yet on it. But, once you get a sell, if it breaks that high here, if it doesn't break the high, well, potentially that's a good sell. It just depends on when the news starts to kick. Because if you've got, where is it? That's the Japanese news, is it? Is that the Japanese one? Yeah, consumer confidence as well. Yeah. Don't worry about AUD NZD at the minute. AUD Singapore. Same. See, look, every one of them basically pushed down and then just straight back up the start of the market this week. AUD USD, exactly the same thing. I just followed each one at the end of the week. So again, we've got a red triangle on the outside of the X48. Like it's not really substantial, but you still have a green, this trend line. USD down here, Aussie dollar up there. It's more likely it'll break that high. I'll go through and put the Tuesday lines in. And does it still market still open at 8 o'clock or is it 7 o'clock for you or 9 now, Darren? Can't remember. UK.
It's 9,
Oh,
5 to
okay.
9.
Yeah.
It's
Hello.
9 now.
So we've got another hour, yeah.
Okay.
I'm still in this for a buy, by the way, AUD USD.
Bloody hell. Really?
Yeah, since February, not not beginning of the year, but been in that since for about 6 weeks now, 7 weeks. Something.
Yeah, and so it's been quite nice.
Well, it's been in and out of profit, then drawdown, and back in.
Yeah, but when were you in from the start of the year? Oh no,
No,
from
I wasn't
April.
started the. No. It was about the 20th of Feb. I got in.
Right, yes.
On the daily,
Mm.
obviously.
Yeah.
That's the 4 hourly you got there, but
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Feb's over here. So, oh, right. Oh, yeah. So drawdown. Like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Roller coaster ride.
Yep.
You didn't get out when it was up the top here.
No, it was still well short of the top of the channel on the daily.
Yeah, we're coming out today and have a look.
Yeah. Yeah, it did push up quite close.
We have to do. Yeah, Feb there. Yeah, it only pushed up to here.
Yeah, I mean
So it's a little bit like a USD CAD
yeah.
for you.
I mean the green triangles originally they disappeared. There was green sharp triangles back in Feb at the bottom. Yeah, down there.
Yeah.
Then disappeared. And you can see it's still red. The middle line's still red.
Yeah. No, it's turned green. You got
It has just.
dash screens just now.
Well, there we go. Stay in it then.
Stay in it, he says.
I knew it would eventually. I just knew it would turn green
You see, you
eventually.
could have waited for 6 weeks, Darren, and just.
Yeah. I just entered it the other day. Anyway.
But that's an important point though, Darren, is that down here you did have a green triangle and the X48 was it. So it actually did go outside the X48. And did it have a long at that point or not? Do you remember?
Yes, well, the long
up
I got
here,
was
though.
on 20th of Feb is the long.
Yeah, up here.
Yeah,
okay.
yours seems to be a bit later for some reason, but
well, yeah, it's
no, it was a
2
couple of
days. It's not, but it's still on that push. But you see, if you had the green and then you had a trend bar change, maybe that's where that is. And that's where you probably got in somewhere around there. 65. It's come back down, then pushed up, then come back down again to the same point, basically, and then push back up again. But now it's confirming. It's like, oh yes, it's going to buy.
It's confirming what I knew it was going to do weeks ago, but it's just
it's
just catching up with me now. So there we go.
Yeah, so you're just going to stay in that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And look, it is always difficult when you look back at something. Well, not difficult. It's like, well, it doesn't tell you the actual picture of it, does it? Like you look here.
It doesn't tell you what I was seeing at the time. I mean, that one from the top though was an obvious one. So that was one I took at the seller took at the beginning of the year. That was great, just straight down. Job done. Pushed out the bottom.
And then you got into that. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, that was from November to end of December, start of the year, it just pushed back down, came to this point, and now it's just chopping around. I think it's the market sort of, this was when interest rates were still up, and this is where we started to get the news around February of when, or the start of February, when the Fed was talking about cutting interest rates. So it's, it has gone sideways.
Yeah.
But on the daily, you look, the Aussie dollar and US dollar, they're just sort of sitting next to each other on the daily. So you do get this choppiness occurring when you have that sort of sentiment. Okay. Gosh. And it's really worthwhile knowing that there was a triangle and it was outside the X48 there. And then this has changed it. So, and you were not to know whether that would disappear or not.
No.
Okay. Let's go. CAD's, hang on, we'll just go back to some, and I'll put this back on 4 hour. Look at that tumble down there, and then we've got the greens, but it kept going down. I mean, this, Tom, from this sort of point of view, you get the green, well, you got the long there for the buy, but it basically just came up and then dropped back down. I mean, again, you're not going to win every trade. So we're just trying to look at what some of these indicators would potentially give us some sort of an insight into potential trade. But you look, look from a CAD and a CHF perspective, strength is that it's still in a downtrend, isn't it? Oh, sorry, an uptrend because the CAD's stronger. So, look at all these bullish.
Yeah, you got to understand, using these indicators are only telling you what has happened. I'm only looking for, out of all these indicators, I'm only looking for direction.
Yeah. Trend, which is really the way to.
That's the only way you're going to win at this stuff consistently.
Yeah.
If you're trying to pick each one of these little shorts and longs,
yeah, no.
You may win sometimes, but overall, you're generally going to lose because you're late.
Yeah. Where if you look at the 4 hour, it's a buy trend, So this long would have been a good one. When was this? Yeah. So you're out, you got a green. It changed here. Get into that trade there. Then the long shows up. See, that one there you would probably have lost out on. I'm trying to think of, because you've got the cell, you've got a triangle, but you don't have a change in color there. You have a triangle, you don't have a change in color, but you have the long and change in color there. You may be sucked into getting into that trade. Yeah. Then it drops back down again. You get another triangle. It's well outside the orange. That's fine, but it's still red. Green triangle again, still red. Here you get a green triangle there and it's green. So that's the trade.
You see where that, the long before there, the one where you said, oh, you might have been trapped into that one. Yeah. So what time was that? Oh, it's early morning, 7 o'clock. But that was one, what's that on? Is that the 4 hour or the
2 hour?
Sorry. That's the 2 hour. It's a very rapid high, isn't it? What you're thinking that you would. So when does it tell you that it's long? When does the label appear?
When the candle closes.
Yeah.
Right. So you've already gone beyond the midway point. Well, you wouldn't get in that anyway. You wouldn't get tempted to get in that because it's gone too far. It's
no. Okay. But then again, you have a green triangle.
Mm-hmm.
You have it outside the X48. The red changes to green on this candle. You could get in on that candle. That's what I'm saying. You have to be there And
Yeah.
when it changes, you would get in the trade here, and then the long would come after that candle, and it would confirm that you're in a direction, but then it would just pull back down on you. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
maybe then if you've got in before the long appears and you're in it, then if you get then where it changes to red, you just go, right, well, I'm out. It's you've not lost, have you? In fact, you're more than break even.
Oh, that, and you're on the 1 hour.
I am on the 1 hour. Sorry. You're
Yeah.
right. I'll go to the 2. Yeah, no, you wouldn't have been in it because it still would have been red the whole time on the 2 hour.
Right. There's your trade where it says long.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
But
And you would have gotten the candle before.
Yeah, because you've got the triangle. You're outside the X48, or you've been waiting here. That's like 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours. You're a 14-hour wait there. I mean, look at this spike out there, crazy. And then so the long's over there, but where it comes back in and you get a candle and a green, and the trend, the line changes green, you would be in there. That candle finishes up the top, goes to there. That's your entry there. Because this probably would be changing green in that push up. So at some point there, you would get in.
Yeah. Can I make a suggestion, Brian?
Yeah, sure.
You should change your colors on your candles back to green and red, because this indicator is set up to change your candles to the correct colors, that the direction it's going in. So for example, all these candles should be red because they're going down. And the green candle that pops up before the long is the only one that turns green when the line turns green.
Okay, hang on.
So it literally shows you the red and green candles only. It doesn't mix them.
Settings, symbol. Okay. So hang on, where
That makes sense.
This is the body there. I've taken body off. Let me like that.
Yeah, see what I mean? So if you change all the colors to green and red, green and red, green and red, green and red, it will highlight when they pushed up and things like that. No, where you have the colors in the chart settings, set them back to green and red, green and red.
Oh, this one red as well.
Yeah.
And this one red as well.
Yeah. And so then when you see what I mean? So the colors are coming down red. You can see them. You can see that they're all red. It's not telling you to buy it all. So even when you get your green arrow, the candles are still red.
Yeah.
You get another green arrow, the candle's still red. The line turns green, and then you get your first green
which is
candle.
The doji.
Is that one. And then you get the long. So it kind of just visually helps you to get in at specific times. It takes all the anticipation and guesswork out of it, because you're not doing it until the computer tells you so. So you can go, oh, I got a green arrow. I must be I got to get into this.
Yeah.
When you're
Apologies, I was
2, 3
distracted
candles
for a
too
second.
early.
What did you just do with the candles there? Apologies.
Okay, just go to settings.
Yeah.
And just had them green, red, green, red, green,
All right,
red
okay.
on the body, porters, and wicks.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Now, if you shrink that down so you can see multiple examples, you can see what I mean. You see where it's just telling you when to get in and when to get out, because the colors are changing like that. So when you get these, you get the arrow, you get the short, and they stay green, you're not really going to take that, are you? because everything's green. See it to the left?
Yeah. You mean just here?
No, all the way to the left. That first arrow.
Oh,
Yeah,
that one.
It says arrow, short, and everything's green.
Yeah, yeah.
The midline's green.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get an arrow, a short, a red candle, the middle changes.
The red, yeah.
You know, it came down and pulled back up. You lost.
Yeah.
You know, okay.
But
You
here
get
you
two
got
more
triangles
arrows.
short, but it stays green. You see, you wouldn't be in it, but
you
it's a
would
good
because
sell.
no, you would because the middle line has changed. It's red.
Okay. Mm.
Because now you're only looking for short.
Yeah, but yeah. Okay.
Middle line here is green. I'm sorry, the middle line here is red.
Red. Yeah.
We're in the green section of the buy. So now I'm only looking for short because it's still red.
Yeah.
The middle line's still red. I'm still looking for short. Now, if this middle line, if this pushes up and this middle line starts to turn up and go green, then I'm only looking for long. Now, I may take that short.
Yeah, yeah.
But I know I'm only looking for longs for longer moves.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've got
So
to
I'm playing both sides of the field, basically. Because each one of these moves, you figure when you, I mean, just from the time of the arrow, when you take the arrow, let's say just from the candle where the line turns red, back to when the line turns green.
Yeah.
You know, that's 3 days.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm willing to say, okay, I'll take on a 2-hour time frame, I'll take that chance of when it comes out of the X48 and I have the triangle and that midline is red, I'm going to take that trade regardless what those color candles are.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes down halfway and stops at the midline and starts to turn, get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. For a short-term trade.
It's that time frame. It
is related to the time frame. That's right.
Yeah, I mean it's 2 hours of time has to pass for each one of these candles. So this is a long period move. This is 3 days from when you get that short to the next green line. That's 3 days.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. When you see like now, it took off, and then you got the green line change, the candle before, and it took off. Well, that's already been 7 bars, 14 hours.
10, yeah, 14. Yeah.
14 hours just for that.
With 24, 25 pips. Okay.
Right. So don't get so hung up on one color. It's just a matter of which direction are we pushing at the moment. So right now we're just pushing up. Let's just see how far this goes.
Yeah.
So if it, you got to, if it comes back a little and you're not comfortable, get out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to take every one of these that come out of the X48 now. Regardless of direction.
Yeah.
I'm starting to just take them as they show these colors like this.
But if you look at, so that's why you wouldn't take AUDs at the moment, because there's still green everywhere.
But like Ann said,
even though we've got these red
for a buy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of late in the move.
Yeah, true. Well, it might
But
not
even
be
down
late.
there,
This
if,
thing
if you
could,
look where that started,
yeah, down here
yeah,
on
see
a
how they turn red,
Tuesday.
red, and
Mhm,
then they turn green. You're
mhm.
outside the X48. You get
Yeah,
your long, boom, away you go.
yeah,
Are you going to lose like over here sometimes, or you took that long to the left?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
This
are
one,
you going
yeah,
to lose
yeah,
sometime?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Absolutely.
But possibly you could see that coming and get out of it with just a little loss.
Mm,
That's all I'm saying. I mean, this kind of just
yeah,
cleaned it up completely. Now, whatever that middle line is doing, I'm kind of playing both with it along as it travels along. I'm starting to look for shorts, but then I'm starting to think, well, maybe this is just going to be a pullback before a bigger push up. And all I'm doing is I'm just following the candle color down until it changes, and then away we go. And this is
yeah,
no different since this is climbing. You know, you basically are just waiting for them.
yeah,
Everything's got to change in that color direction. That's the way you're going.
yeah. Look at how many triangles are in there, though. It's, so they could sway your decision on this as far as, you know, at some point this is going to sell. At some point
Right.
this is going to sell. There's not a, you know, there is no question in relation because it just keeps pushing outside the X48. So it's
Right.
it's in uncomfortable territory, but it's still pushing up. So
It's uncomfortable for us. They're doing just
but
fine.
yeah, but from a price perspective, on a price, I look at what's comfortable and not comfortable, you know. So
Mhm.
comfortable is in between the rails or at the midline. Uncomfortable is outside of it, which is yeah, I can see what you're saying for us. But I mean,
I'm
this
gonna
is
have to go,
one.
Brian. Brian,
Yeah, no worries,
I'm gonna
Darren.
have to
See you
shoot.
later,
Sorry
mate.
about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Go.
No problems whatsoever. Thanks for explaining your daily thing and to show where the movement of the X48 is. You know, you got
Yeah.
triangles disappearing on it and stuff, but
Well, it's all useful stuff. So thanks very much, everybody. I'll
yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, that's good.
Take
see you
care,
All
soon.
Darren.
right.
See you. Cheers.
Yeah, well, the CAD CHF. Well, all of these AUDs, it's not worth taking any sells at the moment. I mean, I just watched and watched and watched, and it just kept. It's like, oh yes, it's got a short. Oh, look, that would be a good trade to. Maybe
Right.
that's when I messaged, but into the group, but then it just pushed back up again.
Right.
And you know, whether you use this or whether you use trend bars, it's
Frankly, I just left them
basically
both on.
it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Except that, you
I,
know, you get a little red one there, but it's not, you know, maybe, you know, trend bars does do a bit of hopping where this one with the settings you've sort of given us there, Tom, it stays green. But
yeah, I
okay.
just left them both on.
So I'm just thinking about this as a you know in this situation, I can only talk about this one situation. You have the long that change to Tuesday, beautiful, up it goes. Then you get this sellout, but it stays green. It says don't get out. Really, I mean, the triangles are saying yes, it's going to turn, going to turn. You get a short, but it stays green.
Hmm.
Whether that changes from red to back, whether it does go red and then goes back to green, because then maybe in the short term you might decide to get out of that trade. I'm not sure. I have to wait to see. But
Any pair
certainly,
you go to
yeah,
is the exact same thing every time. They all hit the top of the range. We always get the arrows, the downs. All we're
yeah,
looking for is the primary color change.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. KJPY was another. Wow. Here we go. Yeah, see, out. Here, even though it was out, we still had green. Not until we got that and that one candle where there was a change, which is just pre the drop. That's the trade that you got, Anne. You still there? Yeah.
Mhm.
That's that trade you said, oh, there was a scan here and then it just dropped. I mean, lovely. Out to the other side.
It was lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's good job.
And I just got out. Obviously, as soon as it hit the bottom one, I just got out anyway. So it was
like 90 pips.
Yeah.
With a relatively tight stop loss on that
I was with a very short time frame as well. It was very nice.
And then you've got, now this has changed to green. You got a long on that, but you wouldn't have got it. You would have got there a little bit of drawdown. Okay. So what we're waiting for is on the other side of these things.
Yeah.
CHF, JPY, nothing much. That's all. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure X48 will be, so it's sitting in the middle. You got one up there, but it doesn't change till here and you get a short. So not a big movement on that one. And the further away from the X48 when it changes, then the less movement you're potentially going to get with it. Okay, euros. Your AUD. Look at the euro and the AUD sitting together up here. Come on, X48. There we go.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the same with the JPY chef, isn't it? They're both sitting at the bottom together. You're not going to really get much movement when they're both sitting together. You want something like odd chef or your JPY and
Yeah. Well, if you got odd chef, for example, which are the two extremes, you've got this change but a push back up again. Like that's the reason why we'd consider that to sell, but the thing is you can't I can't because the Aussie dollar is so much stronger than what the Swiss franc. Yes, you get this little pullback.
Yeah, you'd wait.
But then all of a sudden
what you'd be doing is wait for the longs.
Correct.
Ignore the sells, just go for the longs,
Yeah. Anyway, go back to Euro AUD. Let's go down to Euros. Euro CAD. See, that's where it's pushed much further up. Come on. Now, see how we've got this as a potential, but you've got euros much stronger than Canadian dollar. So it's like the Aussie dollar and Swiss franc. It's, there's still a continuation. You look here, it's all bullish.
I think if that was me, I'd be waiting for looking for a sell to get into a long, wait for it to pull back enough to
but you see, look at this trend here, like we're well out, we get that and we get a red one, but then it's pushed back up again. That you'd lose on that one, wouldn't you, Tom?
Not if you didn't get into the sell. Not if you used that against the pullback. Go on.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's green line, green. Then you get some red triangles outside the X48. You see this, doji, you've got a red change, the red just on here. That's likely for you to have an indication to get into the trade.
Not if you're taking note of the midline and not if you're taking note of the
but on the 2 hour, this may take quite a while to change though. There's Alistair. Oh my gosh.
Are you still going? I was out and I just put my mobile on to watch the recording and I saw you still
it looks like I'm still going, Alistair.
You're still hobbling along, aren't you, Brian?
Goodness me.
No, that's all right. We're just looking at a few bits and pieces.
At the same thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Tom, please.
Oh, no, I was going to say, at the same time, you never did get a short.
No, but the shorts come after. So that's what I'm just saying. I know you didn't get a short. Understand that. So what happens is what? Do you get in, and if you don't get a short the next couple of candles, you just get out?
Or you just take the loss.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying that that's potentially on this. If we look at all these, like if we look at your AUD, for example, is it that one? Take some of these ones anyway. Where is, come on, X48? No, that's not. Good. No, that's not the one. Let's go CAD-J. I'm just trying to find something. Okay. So this will probably give us. Okay, here, for example, up here, we're outside the rail, right? Outside the X48. We've got a green, bar that's trending. And so you wouldn't take that sell. You wouldn't take a sell, and you don't have a short in that, but the bar hasn't changed. Now the thing is, the color of the bar changes before that sell, right? So you've got a triangle, you've got a sell candle, or a change in a sell, and you've got a green color change. That's where you get in. You wouldn't wait till the short, because it'd be down here somewhere. Same thing at the other end. You've got a green. It comes back up here. I mean, it does change on that long, but you wouldn't know the long until after that candle's finished. But because that changes to green, you'd be in that trade when that changes green. It pulls back a little bit, and then it just keeps going up. That's what I'm sort of alluding to. I think it was the CAD, wasn't it, we were just looking at? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you use the same sort of parameter of saying, well, when it's outside the X48, see, I still think you need to take some of this into consideration, but anyway, and or potentially this. If you've got a number of triangles here, and at this point at change, you get the doji, you get a change of color on that, maybe at the X48 or wherever it is at that point, you get into the sell. I'm not concerned necessarily about this middle line on the 2 hour, because this can hang on until this does actually sell back down to it. I'm just trying to work out because here the same thing. You get, red, a little bit of green, and you get a long. You could have got into that because you could have a sense that this could buy, because you've got green arrows, changing color of the green. You get a long on it as well, but then it pulls back down, up, then back down again. Then it takes off. So this could be just the fake out here or the fake down or whatever you have before it gets ready to push back up and then start coming back down. And maybe these are just little lost trades, or that have to be sort of part of your trading experience, Tom.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, because you got to realize that's 2 candles. That's 4 hours.
Yeah, I know.
So unless you're sitting there looking at it at 2 a.m. on Monday, you're going to miss it.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you do by chance say, you know what, look at that. I got a bearish engulfing candle. The line's changed red. It's got an arrow. I'm going to take the high as my stop loss, get into it, bounces back and takes you out. That's trading. You just got in too early.
Yeah, that's right. That's
all it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, if you lost 1, 2 longs down there to the left, you lost those 2 longs.
Yeah.
And won that one. So you lost, if you had 1%, you lost 2%. How many percent gain did you get from this one?
Yeah, 5 or 6, I'd say at least. Let's put it on. Say you got in when it changed. Oh, even at that.
Yeah, even at that.
sell long. You're up here somewhere. If you're still in, if you only got out up there, you're
still in.
Yeah.
Let's say you're still in.
Well, no, you might not, because that turned red. That may give you that, like, nut, get out, because it's going to start coming back down. So if you're in that buy and you wanted it, I think that's where you would get yourself out somewhere there, and then it continued up. I mean,
How many
that's
percent
more.
is that? That's almost 4%.
Yeah, nearly 4. So you lose
So
2, and
you'd be up.
you'd be up 2.
You'd be up 2, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's almost it's worth the risk to say, yeah, you're gonna lose a few trades, but if you just stick with a basic plan of everything's got to be green or everything's got to be red before you enter, your odds are going to go up that you're going to win.
True.
If you lose a couple, c'est la vie.
That's the price of trading. Okay, you're okay. So again, I mean, this is one that, for example, it's well outside the rail. We've got some little flicks going on. We're waiting for a red on this indicator, and then we'll, for a sell back out. But it depends. Like, this is the rate decision later on, 10th of April. So it's what was that? It must be, it's Wednesday. Yeah. So where it comes out of the Tuesday, maybe that's where we get a change for a sell back down. Or it'll push further up. Could certainly do that. Okay, Euro CHF. I'm going to go back through some of these, because it's just, if they're outside the rail, that's the first sort of sign of potential. Here again, you see this change color. The short was on the actual change of color. See that? Not the one before. It was on that. You wouldn't know until the end, but you could easily have a sell stop there.
Yeah.
At the line.
My entries are always at that line.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it would be relatively significant stop loss to the other side. It's 100%. I mean, you could
technically you could move it down to the previous candle.
Yeah, I know. This one here, or that one.
That one.
Yeah,
that would be the best one for me, frankly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's USCHF. So at the moment we have it sticking out again out the top of the X48. It does say that it's very bullish. I mean, Euro is way up here. It could quite easily break that high. Yeah. Right, Euro GBP. These, where you look at them, they're both sort of in this range here. There's no sort of extreme, but look at it. Side, 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 side. Yeah. So at the moment, there's no extreme. I mean, it's come up this long, and if you didn't get in down here, well, it may be a little bit too late now. Euro JPY. JPY is around down here, Euro up there. So of course the Euro is going to push up. It'll probably break that high. But at some point it says it's going to sell out because it is on the high side of but it's not breaking the low side of it. Yeah. Euro NZD. Right, NZD and Euro are just chumming up together. You're not got a lot of movement going on there. Euro Singapore, you can see on X48 anyway. So yeah, you had that pullback, but it's pushed back up. Potentially it'll go back up and break. Let's see where it is on the X48. No, doesn't want to do it. We got a 1 hour. Back to 2 hour. See, push down the middle. The other side didn't give us any indicator here, and now it's pushing back up again. So Euro USD, same thing. No different. Right. So some of these ones are not. So where are all these GBPs at the moment? GA. You know, this could push back out here and then give us another sell, but yeah. Right, GA. Oh, yeah, of course, because Aussie dollar up there, that's why we had that sell. It did push back up, but it's come back down and just evened itself up there. We might get another green one. We'll see. Okay. But the trend is definitely down at the moment from, yeah, look at it, all bearish. Okay. GK, well, GN should be similar to that too. Seen, well, yeah, here, see? So it had that push up. It's now waiting. We did have that little red bit there. It's come back green again. It's broken the high. And just a fake back up again, or fake down, should I say. So at some point we're coming.
This is the one I was talking about when I said I know what Darren's talking about now, because you see where it took off from the long?
Yeah, here.
Yeah, these little dots were all red.
Yeah.
And by the time it got up here to the top, they started turning green.
Green.
And this indicator is just now turning solid green. Look at that whole big move, and it's still in the dot. The solid green line is just starting.
Only just starting. That's right. Yeah, it's very much lagging. You know, so you can't make a decision based upon it.
Exactly.
But we are now poking outside we've got several arrows outside up here. Right? But, you know, British pound to the Canadian, we may push up a little bit more or sideways, or may do some more hiccups, you know, a little push down and then back up. But eventually we're looking at this again. You know, you've got the rate news coming up. Is that what's going to push it, or what's this one? GDP month on month. Okay. Anyway, got to put my Tuesday lines in. We'll have those. Now it's 9 a.m. Okay. GBP JPY. Oh, we looked at that one already. Yeah. Again, see how it pushed down, it's back up again. Look to break that. I mean, I just look at this over here too. Like, you know, the imbalance that's back over here, more likely to push up higher. So I'm waiting with that green there. Anyway, GN. Come on, you know, there's a lot of change in here. So look at this, the green to red to green to red. You know, it's not solid. But we've got this, and now it's pulling back down again. Yeah. See GN together. That's why you get these sort of more sideways movement. You can see the condition, it just says sideways. Okay. GBP Singapore. No, don't want that. GU is an interesting. I don't know if I put this one down in the chat. Can't remember now. But it did go from one side to the other. But a lot of spiky stuff going on. See where that changed there, and then you didn't get a short until well after here. See that, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
So we got, arrows, sort of like a pre-warning, another one, and then right at that point there, it changed at the end of that. If you got in right at the X48 line, if that's where it was at that time, I don't know where it was, but if it was around there or even up here, that's a pretty good sort of drop out. 70 or so. And this is another thing of when I was talking last week about TPs, you have the midline and you have the other side of the X48. That's what I'm sort of looking towards anyway. NCAD, let's go through the last couple. Oh gosh, nearly 2 hours. You can see the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar and just string. Look at this again. Very similar to the Aussie dollar setup. Like it's like gonna sell. Like sold a little bit and then just kept pushing itself back up again.
Yeah, that's where those colored candles really come in handy.
Yeah. But you can see how it's been pushing down for quite a while down here. And then we get this change and push back up again. It's now saying, from a trend perspective, that's more likely to sell, but not with the strength that I can see at this point. It may be again around this news. NZDCHF, look where New Zealand dollar is and where the Swiss franc is. We've got that craziness just there, but it's pushed back up again. Yeah. And likely to break the high. Could. It didn't give us any triangle at the bottom here, but really wicky. Like, look at the wick there. It's massive. NZDJPY. Man, look at change of direction there. Yeah. Change there. Now it's out. It came out, came back to the mid, and pushes back out again. See what I'm talking about? That sort of TP type area. And that do the same thing. Yeah. See, came outside, gave us a couple of triangles, gave us the change never happened. That one's interesting, Tom. We didn't get a change until well after the short. On that color band, it wasn't until a couple of candles after the short it changed.
Oh, right. Look at that.
That's unusual. Singapore Japanese push back up to there as well. Oh, yes. Oh, look at this. Bullish. You wouldn't
That
be
would have been a
taking.
good long.
Yeah, well, that's right. And you probably wouldn't take any shorts on this one. Anyway, it would have been a good long, that's right. UK we've looked at, USD CHF. I thought UK we looked at, yeah. So, look at where the US dollar and the Swiss franc are. There's more of a push up propensity at the moment. That's a big candle, that one too, and came off these two just very wiki as well. UJ. Right. Look at this. Oh,
Right. I shall have to love you and leave you. Okay, thank you very much.
No worries, Anne. Thank you very much. We're just about we're near the end of it anyway. So
yeah. Okay.
Okay, no worries. See you
care,
later,
Ann.
Charles. Bye. Yeah, so up around here. It may push up high, it may not. You know, we haven't got any triangles up here, but it dropped off. So difficult to know. Don't worry about that one. Gold, look at this, 23 record highs. Wow. And look at it. So many arrows to triangles to sell that it's done one at the moment. And where's our Bitcoin sitting? Oh, it's back up at 71. Wow. Hasn't quite made the high. But it looks like it's going to push back down. Yeah. Interesting, Tom. That one is Bitcoin anyway. Okay, well, I'm going to have to see what happens with some of these AUDs. I'm just a bit like, wow. What do we have to take into consideration? Is it the strength of the actual dollar as well, to whether we consider that a trade? Because at the moment, there's just so much pressure to sell, but it's not, because the strength of the dollar has just kept us pushing up.
Yeah, but it's going to have to correct. It's going to have to correct.
Absolutely.
So I think at this point, I'm looking at short.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Even if it's just a pullback to the center.
Okay.
Because then if I get another, because if you get a short and it pulls back to the center and you get another long, I'm getting in that long.
Okay.
Because then I'm going to expect it to keep pushing.
Yeah, well, look at this. Look at how you get along here in the middle. It hasn't even come to the outside rail, and you get along in here. That's
that's what I'm saying. Even if
pretty
you just
ominous,
make it to
isn't
the middle,
yeah.
just to the middle.
But while the strength of the currency is up here, it's more likely that long will be a nice longer push. I mean, if the sell might only be, even though we've got all of these things telling us it's going to push onto the sell. It's like the CHF. We've been waiting for CHFs to,
Yeah, but the thing is, with all these arrows, I don't take these arrows as the more you have, the harder it's going to push. I'm just saying the more arrows you have, the more likely it is that you're going to get some kind of a pullback. So I can actually see this pulling back almost sideways just to the other side of the rail and getting another long.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the kind of I'm looking at that kind of a pullback. I'm not looking for it to break the bottom.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to wait to see if we get a red change on this, or whether we can also too. Because I think sometimes the trend bar changes a bit. No, that's still green. We'll see.
I just left them both on.
Yeah, okay. Rightio. All right then. Until tomorrow. And so, Alice, are you still in Scotland?
No, I'm back down.
Okay.
I'm just
It's looking a bit cool.
I've been busy since I got back end of last week. So yeah.
Your mum okay?
Yeah, bits and bobs, but so I'll go back up I'm going back up in a month or so's time.
Yeah, no
God, this was a long session. How long have you been going for?
Oh, since I was born, Alice. That's how long I've been going. Since 5 o'clock. Since 5 my time, so it's nearly 2 hours. So whenever
gosh, I'm on my mobile because I just thought I'm going to flick through and watch a bit of the recording just now.
Well,
And
you're going to need to watch recordings at the start because we were talking to Darren and about his daily stuff and the whole lot of
I will
things.
have a look at it. Yeah, I'll look at it in the morning.
And you got a few settings.
You got some settings. Yeah, I can check it on the. Actually, it's the watch on the mobile is good for catch up because you can scoosh along with it, and then you can.
Oh my gosh! Don't tell me he just misses a whole lot. Okay, right.
Anyway, I'll look at it later. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, no worries at all. All the best.
Have a good day.
All right. See you later, Tom. Too. Let's